Okay. So guys, let's do the guess the output. Fine. Okay. So the first one, what is the output? By the way, did you go through this program, guys? Were you able to? Did you go through this program? This one, self-analysis program. Did you do this, my dear friends? Darlings, did you do this? All my darlings, did you do this? Analyzing this program. Darlings, yes, no, I'm asking you. Okay, if you're not done, say no. I know if you're done, you would have said yes. Okay, so if you're not done, say no. It's okay. I just want to know. Okay, no? Okay, okay, okay. I'll do on weekend. Okay, weekend. Sir, no, sir, due to exams. Okay, fine. But will you do? Will you do this? Because it's very important. That is why I gave you. There is fun in doing it. It's really good. I want you to do it. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine. No problem. Okay, do it, do it. Okay, right. And by the way, did you understand this program? How to create your own exception class? Did you understand this? How to create your own exception class? Okay, so after the session, I want you to weekend. I want you to write your own exception class and work on it. Okay, will you do? Okay, fine. So right. So okay. So guys, tell me the output of this program. What happens? The output of this. Output of this program. ZDE, zero division error. Is it right? Okay. Everyone okay with that? Are everyone okay with this? ZDE. Yes, no? Right? Okay, because when you are actually dividing by zero, you're going to get an exception, and that is nothing but zero division error, and therefore we'll get ZDE. Okay, shall I fix it? Yes, no? Hello? Everyone okay? Clear? Any problem with this code? No, right? It is a D because when we do divide by zero, we'll get an, the Python will raise an zero division error, and this will get matched, and ZD will get printed on the screen. Clear, no? Guys? Hello, shall I proceed further? ZD is the output. Shall I proceed? ZD is the output. Okay? Okay. All right. So second one. Second one. Second one. B. Okay. Old students don't answer. I want only new students to answer. Old students don't answer, please. Old students must not answer. Only new students must answer. New students. The chance is for new students, not for old students. New students. Okay. So I'm sure when I say new students, they will definitely answer ZDE, isn't it? Okay. So okay. So it is not ZDE. Okay. This is not ZDE. Okay. The answer would be BE. The answer would be BE. Okay. So any idea why? I know that 5 divided by 0 will actually only no don't I mean old students don't answer, you know the answer. Okay, so I want only the new students to answer me. The answer is B. Okay, any idea why? Any idea why as to it is B? Because it is the first except block. Avantika, you are asking me or you are giving me answer? See, what kind of error will it give? What kind of error will this give? It will give you, okay, answer, sir. Okay, there was a question mark at the end, right? So that is why I asked you. Okay, so it is an answer. No, it is not because of the first except block. No. That is not how it works, right? So yeah, so ZD is derived from B. Okay, so answer me this question. Answer this. Okay, I think every exception is same here, and whichever matches first. Okay, so it is like this. Not every exception is same. Okay, Ashutosh. So Siddhi, you are almost right. So let me tell you this, right? So let me say this is vehicle. I'll call this as vehicle. Okay, and then I will call this as two-wheeler. Two-wheeler is inheriting from vehicle, and I have a bike. Okay, two-wheeler. I'll call it as uh, Pulsar or Royal Enfield or whatever it is, Royal Enfield. Okay. Now, guys, answer me this question. Keep answering me this question. Okay. Okay. So I mean, which class is inheriting from vehicle? Which class is inheriting from vehicle? Can you tell me the name of the class that is inheriting from vehicle? Two-wheeler, right? As well as RE, right? Now, who is inheriting from two-wheeler? Who is inheriting from two-wheeler? RE, right? So now, what kind of relationship should inheritance satisfy? What kind of relationship should inheritance satisfy? Is a, isn't it? It must satisfy a is a relationship, and therefore it must satisfy a is a relationship, isn't it? Yes or no? Now, so don't you think that Royal Enfield is a two-wheeler? Royal Enfield is a two-wheeler, correct? Agree, disagree? Royal Enfield is a two-wheeler and two-wheeler is a vehicle, correct? Two-wheeler is a vehicle. Am I right? Two-wheeler is a vehicle. So if Royal Enfield is a two-wheeler and if two-wheeler is a vehicle, now don't you think Royal Enfield is a vehicle? Don't you think Royal Enfield is a vehicle? Correct, no? If Royal Enfield is a two-wheeler and if two-wheeler is a vehicle, then it means that Royal Enfield is a vehicle, correct, no? Right? So it means that, Royal Enfield, right? So here what has happened is, let me come back to the initial chapter over here, or initial this one. Okay. So did you see this zero division error over here? Zero division error. Okay. It is inheriting from which class? Zero division error. It is inheriting from which class? Can you tell me? From which class is it inheriting? Arithmetic error. And arithmetic error is inheriting from which class? Arithmetic error is inheriting from which class? Okay, it is inheriting from exception class, correct? And exception class is inheriting from whom? Exception class is inheriting from whom? Okay, it is exception from base exception, isn't it? Now, don't you think zero division error is an arithmetic error? Correct? Zero division error is an arithmetic error, and arithmetic error is an exception, and exception is an base exception, correct? Agree, disagree with this? Okay, in that case, don't you think zero division error is a base exception? Zero division error is a base exception, isn't it? Zero division error is a base exception, correct? So it means that, okay, so what happens in this case? So what happens, this is an interview question, okay? So what happens in this case is that, okay, so what kind of error will 5 divided by 0 give us? What exception will it raise actually? Can you tell me? It will raise zero division error, and the Python control, the program control will come to check for the matching exception, isn't it? It comes to check for the matching exception, and don't you think this will get matched? I can store this type into this, isn't it? It will, because ZDE is a base exception, correct now, my dear friends? Are you understanding? Okay, a kind of polymorphism. Okay, a kind of polymorphism, right? Did you understand? One entity, but it can have different forms. Okay, one entity, different forms kind of thing, correct? Yes or no? Are you understanding? One entity, but it can support different forms. Understood or not? So ZDE, that is zero division error, is a base exception. So it is actually, satisfying here. So therefore, the Python says okay and gives us output as B, whereas this is not permissible in Java, but it is permissible in C++. Okay, so even I don't like this, I don't know why Python has permitted it, but I think it is I feel it is not good. Okay, but the implementer of Python knows better than me, so let us not bother about it. But this is how it works in Python. Okay, in Java it doesn't work. It will give you an error. It will give you a compile time error. Okay, if there are any Java guys over here, you will know this will give you an error in Java. Is that clear? Hello, clear with that? So don't get confused with Java and Python. Can I proceed? Can I proceed? That is why the output is base exception. Okay. Sir, is it cause it entered first exception block and finds it as appropriate? Yes, Harshita Patil. See, what happens is it tries to start matching from the first except block one by one. Okay. Say for example, okay. So instead of base exception, the same program, instead of base exception, if this was just exception, okay, and then this one was base exception. Are you understanding? This was base exception. Then tell me what would have been the output. I mean, if this was E and if it was B, then tell me what would have been the output. Can you tell me? Can you tell me? It would have been E, isn't it? Yes. So whichever is matching first, that gets matched. That is the thing. Okay. In this earlier case, zero division error got matched and it got matched. That's all. Did you understand, guys? Hello. Shall I proceed further? Understood? Shall I proceed further? Okay. Right. Okay. So what about this? What happens in this case? Can you tell me? Sir, so first one will be matched. Zalak Gandhi, it is not first one will be matched. The first matching except a block will be matched. I mean, will be executed. Did you understand? The first matching exception will be executed. Correct, Zalak? Did you understand? Darling, Zalak Gandhi, did you understand what I'm saying? Okay. So whichever matches first, that suite will get executed. Okay. Okay. So can you tell me what will happen in this case? Third one. What is new in this program? What is new in this program? Okay. So what is new in this program? Else. Okay. So very simple thing, very simple thing. Okay. The else part will get executed only if no exception has been caught. Can you write it down, write this down somewhere? The else part will get executed when no exception has been caught. This is how it works. Hello, did you understand? Okay. If okay, now can you tell me the output of this now? Can you tell me the output of this? Okay, it would be only ZDE. That's all. Okay, if there is an exception caught, then else part will not get executed. Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed here? Hello. Okay, now fine. Now coming to this, can you tell me what is the output of here? Can you tell me what gets printed over here? Okay, is there any exception over here? Is there any exception? Is there any exception? There is no exception. So none of the exception gets caught and then else will get printed, isn't it? So if the try, none of the code in the try block will raise an error, that is your exception, then the else part will be called. Okay. So where can it be used? Let me try to give you some application. Okay. I personally don't feel any real use of this else. Okay. In my opinion, with the code that I have seen, I don't really find that this else is needed. But one of the places where I used this is when I was actually working on a Linux project where I wrote this code like this, right? So I wanted to try this. Okay, I don't exactly remember the name of the code that I've written. It was long back, but still I'll just use some random names. Okay, so I just wanted to see if okay I am see when we write code, that code must work both on Linux and it must be able to work on Windows or Mac or any all different machines, isn't it? Yes or no? I cannot write code that works only on one particular machine. Agree? Yes or no? So I remember that I was writing a code where I had one function to see whether okay this code is working on Linux or something like that. I don't really remember that, but I know that I wanted to check if Linux, it was working on Linux or something. I mean, I was just trying some function. It was a user defined function. I was just checking. So just give me some I'm giving some random name. Okay, so I just said if Linux tracking is happening, it means that I was tracking if this code is working on Linux or not. Okay, and if it is not working on Linux or it was giving an error, then I was handling that error over here. Okay, let me call it as Linux error or something. Okay, so these were all user defined exceptions. Okay, so I was handling this error and I was writing the code. Okay, and if suppose if I was working on Linux and if it is not giving any kind of error, then what I did was that in the else block, okay, in the else block I wrote the code for opening the file which was what do you call, which was related to Linux. Okay, so Linux format files. So there I was actually opening the files related to files related to Linux operating system. So one.log or something like that. Okay, so some Linux related files, because the file extensions for Linux would be different, the file extensions for Windows would be different, the file extensions for different OS would be different, right? So we were working on a binary file and we had to open a specific file related to Linux. Okay, so first I checked that if I was working on Linux, or is this program really working on a Linux machine or a Linux environment? And if it is yes, it did not give any kind of error, then come to the else part and then open that file and do the necessary operation. Are you understanding? Guys, do you understand what I'm saying? Or you want me to explain it once again? Okay, I really don't remember the names that I wrote over here. Okay, you did not understand? You did not understand? Say did not understand, so that I can repeat once again. Did you understood? Everyone clearly? Yes, no? Okay, so here if suppose this open did not work, okay, here again you can write a try block. Here you can again write a try and except block over here. Is that clear? You can write once again try inside the else over here. Absolutely no problem. Understood, guys? As part of the else, you can also write over here. Okay, so something like this we had written. So I just gave an application. I don't remember exactly the names. Okay, so like that. Fine. So is that clear, my dear friends? So did you understand the output of this? So what is the output here? The output is else. Okay. So here, so this is one more way of accepting all kinds of exceptions. Okay, whether it gives me base exception or it gives me exception or it is zero division error, any kind of exception if I want to handle, then I can group it together, separating it with a comma. So here an exception occurred would get printed. I'm just showing different versions of doing it, right? So the output would be an exception occurred. Clear? Is it difficult? It's easy, no? It's easy, right? Exception occurred. Easy, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. Right. So any kind of exception, if you want to handle, no matter what kind of exception it is, I just want to handle it, I can write it over here. Okay. So can you tell me the output of this program now? Sixth one. Sixth one. So 5 divided by 5 except hi, hello. Why did I give you this program? It is so simple. Why did I give you? I don't know. Okay. So it is output is hello for now. Okay. What about this seventh one? Seventh one. Compile time error. The syntax should always be try except else. Okay, so simply you cannot say else, right? So else will get executed only when there is no, the except did not if the control did not go to the except block, right? So this will give you a compile time error, right? No, so this is not the syntax. Okay, clear? So it should always be try except else. Fine. Now we have one more extra thing to be added here. Okay, what is this extra thing to be added? What is this? It is finally. Okay, so guys, old students don't answer. I want only new students to answer the question. Okay, I don't want new old students to answer, because I know you already know these concepts. So let us give chance to new students. Okay, yeah. So guys, what is the output of this? I can see a lot of old students answering the questions. Okay, guys, I know you know the concept, so please let us give chance to new students, please. Right. So okay, so first of all, let me tell you what is finally block. Okay, so the finally block will get executed no matter whether there is an exception or not. No matter what, finally will actually get executed. Do you understand? No matter what, the finally block will definitely get executed, is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so let me give you an analogy. Shall I give you an analogy? Shall I give you an analogy, my dear friends? I'll give an analogy so that you'll be in a position to understand. Okay, yeah, there is a very famous analogy I keep giving. Okay, say for example, Naga Satish. Okay, Naga Satish wants to cook biryani. Okay, what is it he wants to cook? Not cook. What is that Naga Satish wants to cook, my dear friends? What is it? Tell me. He wants to cook biryani. Okay, for the first time he is cooking, right? So so what is that? Is that okay? Try. He'll say try. Okay, so and he is cooking biryani. So cook biryani, cook biryani method function. Okay, and then do you think the cook biryani will become successful or not, or there would be some exception? Will there be an exception? Okay, there could be some, I mean, it's not mandatory you have to write the exception name. Okay, if you don't write, any exception will be caught over here, right? So okay, is that okay? Right, so let me write some exception for now. Let me write some exception. Okay, so what all exception could occur? Let me give the name for now. Okay, so can you give me something something bad could have happened? Okay, saltless biryani, saltless, say saltless error, salt, okay, saltless error or something. Okay, cylinder. Okay, saltless error. Okay, saltless error, so he has to handle it. Okay, and then one more exception is, say for example, okay, one more exception is that, okay, what is that? It is baked, oh my, no masala. Okay, overcooked error. Yeah, that also could happen. Overcooked error also could happen. Okay, now tell me, hey, who is that cylinder blaster? Hey, Pawan, dirty fellow, why are you thinking all negative, man? Cylinder blast, it seems. Hey, see, whatever you write, that will happen. Hey, dirty fellow, write cylinder won't blast now, only immediately. Cylinder won't blast, you write quickly, fast. Pawan, put that in the chat box. Until then, I cannot start the class. Put that in the chat box. No, sir, it won't. It not. Say cylinder won't blast. Say cylinder won't blast. It won't blast, it seems. Hey, dirty fellow, you are. Pawan, see. Put that quickly. Cylinder won't blast. Fast. Cylinder won't blast. How can you say such kind of dirty things, man? Don't think. See, my dear friends, I mean, it looks funny for you guys, but let me tell you, whatever I'm telling you with my experience, I'm telling you, whatever you think that will happen, whatever you speak, that will happen. So don't speak negative, don't speak positive. Okay, so I mean, don't speak negative, only speak positive, my dear friends. Always speak positive, right? No, so it is, it's very, 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 I don't know how to tell you guys here. Okay, so don't use anything negative, always use positive only, right? Okay, so having said that, right? Cylinder will blast it. Cylinder will not blast, and the biryani is going to be super awesome. Okay, so always be positive. Now, let me come back to this example over here. Now, listen to me. Okay, so now tell me whether the biryani became successful or not. What is that he has to do? What is that Naga Satish has to do? Tell me. He has to do one thing. What is that? Whether, whether the biryani is successful, biryani making is successful, or biryani making is unsuccessful. No matter what, he has to do one thing. What is that? Hey, eat, it seems. Dirty fellows all. No, no, you have to eat. No, so it is no, 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 sir, no. You guys are awesome, man. Okay, so you have to, what do you call? What do you call to I am forgetting my English. I know little English and even that. Yeah, switching off the stove, right? We have to switch off the stove, correct? We have to switch off the stove. Switch off stove, isn't it? Yes or no? Eat, it seems. Healthy for us. Okay, so finally we have to switch off the stove, correct? No, no matter what, whether you have to either whether the biryani became successful or not. No matter what, certain part of the code has to be executed, correct? No, so that is switching off the stove. Okay, so such kind of cases is where you make use of finally. Clear with that? Do you understand? Okay, finally name says it all. Okay, so no matter what, okay, so whether there is an exception or not, finally that part of the code has to be executed. So okay, so what will be the output in this case? Did you understand this concept now, by the way? Did you understand this concept? Hello guys, did you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is no matter what, whether there is an exception or not, if there is a finally block that has to get executed. Okay, no, so says for example, okay, let me tell you one more example in technical terms. If suppose you are trying to, okay, open a file, okay, that opening the file, you will write it in the try block, and if the opening file did not become successful, okay, no, or it may be successful, right? No, so you have to do certain things like removing up all the kind of memories that were allocated for those objects and all such kind of things. Okay, everything can be written in as part of your finally block. Okay, so all the code with the cleaning up code, all the cleaning up code can be written as part of the finally block. Okay, so now what is the output of this? Can you tell me? It would be hi namaste, isn't it? Hi and namaste. Hi and namaste. Hi and namaste. Okay, clear? Fine. Sir, when what is it? Then why specifying exact exception where I can just specify except. Okay, now except will accept all the kind of exception, right? So I just want to clarify. If suppose I might receive a value error, I might receive an index error. So for each and every error, I have to take care of different things, right? Yes or no? See, if it is saltless error, I'll get to know. Okay, I'll have to add salt. Let me handle it. If it is overcooked, nothing can be done. But still, okay, I understand what I'm saying. So specific, you will get to know what kind of error has occurred and how to handle it. Okay, what extra thing can be done so that we can handle such kind of exception. Yes or no, Ashutosh? Are you understanding it? Correct. Okay, so having said that, what is the output of this now? Tell me. What is the output of this? Yeah, it would be hello, namaste, isn't it? It would be hello, namaste. Hello, namaste. Okay, what about this? What about this? Yeah, no, it can be try and finally, no problem. Okay, not necessary. You should have an else block over here. I mean, your except block. So therefore, it will print namaste. Okay, is that okay? Clear, guys? Hey, the chapter is over. Only 10 questions. Okay, so I think we are done with exception handling. Yeah, we are done with it. Guys, how was exception handling class? How was it? How was the class? Exception handling. It was good. Did you understand? Okay, so I think we have completed the class early. Okay, so what I'll do is, okay, so my dear friends, I just want to ask you something. You want class tomorrow because tomorrow is a Friday. I am absolutely free. So can I take class tomorrow, or you want to revise and then let me take the class on Monday? Because there are 4 more chapters remaining, and out of that 2 chapters are slightly complicated. It requires your revision and all that. If I back to back, if I take, there would be a problem. So what do you feel? You want revision and then start it on Monday, or how is it? Anything was okay. I'm okay with anything. Okay, let me Monday. Okay, fine. You want to revise? Okay, let us take a poll in the WhatsApp group and then we will decide. Is that okay? I'll take a poll. No, no, it is not as you wish. But see, if you want me to ask, I want you to revise. That is one. There is no use completing it. There are 4 more chapters. Okay, I want you to revise these exception handling concepts and all that. Okay. So guys, don't go away. Okay, so because we have ended the class very early, shall I give you one small story, a real-time story, what has happened, what had happened in my life? Okay, so I have, when I get time like this, I'll be able to tell you some real story that had happened in my life. Okay, so you want, I'll tell you, you can learn something from it. Yeah. Okay, so it was somewhere. Are you ready? Shall I say, narrate a small story to you guys? Okay, right. Okay, so the story is all about, so it is not like motivational. It is not like motivational story or anything, but it is a real story. So we'll answer this Harshita Patil's doubt and then we'll proceed. Harshita, can you tell me, ma, what is your doubt? You want to unmute yourself? Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, Harshita.
Yes, sir. Told that after try except has to be there, else it will be an error.
Hmm.
That too only when else part is there.
Hmm.
So here except block is not there,
Hmm.
and there is finally. So like you told, finally the output is printed as
Hmm.
namaste.
Hmm. Hmm.
So could you please explain that again, sir?
Okay, tell me what is that you want me to explain.
Why when
First,
except
why
why
when?
when except is not there, it is executing.
Because Python has decided that except is not required. It is giving an error and it is allowed. Try and finally is allowed.
Try and okay. So even if except and else is not there, also it is
This
okay
is a
to.
valid syntax.
Okay, 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 sir. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So you'll tell us how you practice programming in colleges. Okay. So we'll discuss all that. So I thought, I mean, suddenly one story came to my mind. Shall I tell you all that? I cannot tell you all the stories, but I remember one story that I'm going to tell you now. Okay. So it was, I think, in 2006, I think. Okay, when I had 2005 or something. When I was basic, I don't remember the year actually. I was a fresher that time. Okay, and are you guys with me? Yes, no? Are you guys with me? Yes, no, yeah. Okay. So I went to an interview. Okay, from what is my bachelor? What is my this one? What is that stream of engineering? What is the stream? Okay, I'm basically from electrical and electronics. Okay, I've done my electrical and electronics, where I've not seen any kind of programming at all. Okay, it's only motor, burr, burr, and all that. Only motor, rotor only. So I remember going to this company for an interview. Okay, the even you would have heard about this company. Okay, Global Edge Software. It's a company, Global Edge Software. Let me write it. Okay, it is called as Global Edge Software, right? So they are basically into embedded systems. Okay, and so I had been to an interview. So it was a freshers interview, and what happened was the queue was almost 1 kilometer long. It means it was early morning. They had called for an okay. Yeah, so guys, listen to me, listen to this, right? So they had called us for an interview for early morning. It was a walk-in interview. So I dressed up in formals and all that. I told my parents that I'm going for an interview and all that. Okay, so I was not okay with programming. I was not great at programming or anything like that, because I was a fresher and I was learning and all that, right? So I was morning, I still remember waking up at 7, by waking up at almost 6 o'clock or something, getting ready, and by 7:30 I went to the company. It was in Malleshwaram, Bangalore. Okay, there is a place called as Malleshwaram in Bangalore, and it is in Bangalore. Okay, so by the time I went there by 7:30 only, the queue was very long. Okay, so it was there were huge number of people standing and attending, I mean, waiting for their round. So why they were waiting not to attend the interview? They have to go submit their resume, and then they have to call and all those process. It's a big process, right? So I was there from 7:30 standing in the queue, and my round came by 11:30, 11:45. Imagine. Okay, 11:30, 11:45. Those days, okay, there was no much of internet and all those things. Internet was there, but internet was there. Okay, but not as like you have today. right? So if you want to go for and get a resume done, then you have to go to the internet parlor, pay them 20 rupees per hour and get the resume done and all those things. Okay, so we did all those things early morning. I mean, the previous day we went to that interview. We were standing in the long queue. So my turn came at 11:30, 11:45. I still remember that, right? So I'm getting into that company, okay, and there was a security person who was sitting outside, and he was cross verifying everyone's resume. So I was thinking that they were checking for the aggregate and all those things. So I gave my resume. You know what that security did? In my resume I had written that B in electrical and electronics, like this. I still remember B in E and E. I had written like this. Okay. So that fellow saw this. He used a red marker, okay, a kind of red pen. He rounded it like this and said, "We don't take electrical people into our company, okay, as freshers. So you can go home." Now imagine, guys, how I should feel. Did you see that? He just put a round mark on my resume. So with so much of hard work, I created my resume. I took the printout and all that. Okay, and it was not the days like this. Okay, even to get even single rupee from my father, it was very difficult because my father was having a small tea stall. Okay, in a slum, he was having a small tea stall, and getting even 1 rupee from him was very difficult because I mean, it was very old. It was very old days, my dear friends. It was like today, yes, you guys have money, but that time it was very difficult to get even 1 rupee. So we had taken him from, I still remember taking 30 rupees, 20 rupees for the internet and taking for the printout and all that. So the moment I gave him that fully, very nicely created resume, he just put a round mark like this, and he's told me that you are not allowed. I requested him saying that, boss, I know better than what people are standing here. Okay, please give me a chance. I want to attend. Please. I pleaded like anything. He said, no, 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 please move out from here. And he just took my hand and he pushed. I mean, not completely pushed. He said, please go from here. Okay. So when he did that, you know what? I felt so bad because I'd already told my parents that I'm going for an interview and all that. So immediately I came out of that company. Okay. I just saw the board. There was a big board written Global Edge. I said, one day I'm going to take a revenge on you. Right? What does I say? I am going to take a revenge on you. Correct? No? And my dear friends, this revenge, basically people call it as a negative word. Revenge is a negative word, but that day I did not take a negative. I did not take it as negative word. Rather, I told I would actually take a positive revenge. You know what is a positive revenge? The positive revenge was that one day, at least for one day, I'm going to come and work in your company because you rejected my resume without interviewing me today. I'm going to work here for one day and throw the ID card on your face, and I will go one day. So just keep it this in your mind. Okay. I told this. I mean, I didn't tell them directly. I just told this in the mind, and I actually came home. Okay. Then as usual, life went on. I was going for other interviews and all that. So you know what happened? Exactly after my 2 years. Okay, my first company was SPI Computers. Exactly after 2 years of working at SPI Computers. So this I had posted my experience resume on Naukri. So this guys, Global Software, I get a call from Global Software saying that you are selected for the interview. Can you come and attend interview? So that day I remembered this incident that had happened because it was there in my mind, right? So I went to the company. So the interview got cleared. I completely I cracked all the interview rounds and all that. I had no intention to work for the company, but I only wanted to go sit in that company for at least one day and then give the ID card and just come back. This is what it was, right? So what I did was, before resigning, what I want to do before resigning, I want some other job, isn't it? So I used to attend so many interviews and I got 2 3 offers in my hand. So what I did was, I just chose Global Software first. I went to the company. I was there for 1 week, my dear friends, 1 week. Exactly after 7 days on a Friday, not 5 days, not for 7 days, 5 days, right? So the Friday, while coming out, I just took my ID card, gave it to the security, and told, I'm not coming from Monday. That's all. Go. And I came off. Will you remember, my dear? Can you imagine, my dear friends, how it would have happened? If you won't believe, I can take the photo. I can take the picture of that offer letter of Global and send it to you. Right. So I just gave that to the ID card to the company and said, I'm not coming. Ask your HR to call me. That HRs were calling me for almost 2 weeks. Please come back. Please come back. Please come back. Please come back. And whenever they said, please come back, I used to get some kind of feeling. You call it as nasha. You call that that kind of, when they rejected, that security rejected me that day, and when they are saying that please come back, we need you, I feel like not going back once again. Right? Okay, I did not go back, and that is one thing. The second thing is that, after starting up my academy, Subhash programming classes, okay, we have given 400 students to Global Software. I have a photo also. I'll send that to you. Okay. So I had once gone to Global Software to meet those HRs. They have recruited my, students. They come to our academy and they used to recruit my students. Okay. Almost 400 students. Okay. Were working in Global Software. You go to Global Software, you can speak to the HR team, or you can go to the CEO and you can tell that, do you know Subhash? He will immediately recognize, right? Because the CEO's son also had come to me for learning C. Okay. So that's the kind of thing. See how life changes, right? So that security had rejected me, saying that, electrical people are not allowed, and see what happened later. I worked there for 1 week, and they started calling, and I did not go there, and now my students went and are working over there, right? So it is almost 4 years that, so I've just stopped doing that full-time course and all that. Okay. So all these students would have gone to different places, and they're working at, different companies, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is things change. So don't forget to take positive revenge. Okay. Don't do negative revenge. Have positive revenge. When someone say that you cannot do, okay, be awesome, be cool. Okay. Don't take it very personally, but work hard. Okay. And then prove that it happens, and, tell them that, see, this has happened. Right. No. So things happens. Right. No, my dear friends. So hope this I randomly just remembered now. So I thought I'll just tell you. Okay. So fine, guys. Okay. So from now on, when someone rejects you, what will you do? When someone rejects, what will you do? Take it as a positive revenge, and make sure that you'll go and at least work for 1 week over there and then come back. Okay. So let me see if I have this offer letter in my home. I'll take a picture and send it to you. Okay. So having said that, right? So having said that, okay. So shall we meet on Monday now? Shall we meet on Monday, guys? Yeah. Shall we meet on Monday? Okay. So Monday, come prepared. There would be a slightly difficult session. Okay. So revise all this and come, and fine then. That's it. Fine, guys. So the moral of the story is positive revenge. Fine. Okay. Chalo, guys. Meet you on Monday then. Take care. Bye bye. See you. Love you all so much. Bye.